Good afternoon, everyone. This is a mic check, so if you got good audio on us to hear, we'll be starting right at 3 o'clock for our 3 o'clock Thursday afternoon update.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good day. We'll go right into our report on our cleanup. Not a lot to report except it is going real well. Everyone's working real well with our county and state, and seems to be moving right along with getting everything moved to the road to where we can pick it up. State's here again today picking up, so just try to continue doing that on through the next few weeks, and we'll try to get that kind of behind us, the cleanup anyway. Want to mention our test sites. We have got some positive on that. Been working with Clay Tracy there in Rome. He's over our health departments in Northwest Georgia here, and Alex will give you an in-depth report because he's been working on a site to actually do the testing. But I did get verification from him just a minute ago, just right before I walked in here, that they have verified the 7th and the 14th is a date that will be here in Dade County where they will do free testing. It'll be set up as a drive-by, and Alex will give you more details as far as where we're going to do that. The school system I know is working real closely with him on that, so that's really good news. Now they will only be doing the swab test. That's and there's a process you go through. As we said, it's free of charge. And he will go into that a little bit about how the process of doing that. But that's really good news for us, and so we'll definitely keep you updated on that. Also, the clinic across the mountain that we've talked about, several people in Dade County, a lot of people in Walker County have been doing over there, in Dade County also to be tested, and they are doing the antibody test, which is a finger prick, and I talked a little bit about that yesterday. And this is over in Lafayette. It's called a Ready Clinic. It's there by Walmart, the clinic that most people here are going to. They do have one in Ringo. They've got one in Flintstone. And now that's the clinic that we were talking about today. It's $40 per test if you want to see if you've actually had this, in the past months. They can do that. And it's like a 15-minute wait period, after you test it, and you stay in the car. And they'll actually give you results there. But they also that particular 15-minute test, they are backed up on that, from what I understand, and they're waiting on more test kits. They do have several hundred people on the waiting list on that. But I was notified yesterday that they're working through one of the larger laboratories in the country. They are offering, starting today, a test which is close to the same test, except it's a 4 to 5 day turnaround, and it will be covered under your insurance. That's something you can call. I'll give you their number in a minute, but it will take most of your insurance cards will work there, and so that'll work out for you if you want to. But the only thing about it is you need to have had the symptoms in the last 90 days, and that's something you can talk to them about. But they'll talk to you and explain to you exactly what the process is. But the number over there at this particular clinic is 706, and it's 620-0200. And now that's only for the antibody test and not the swab. And as I said, the insurance, from what I understand, most insurance companies will cover that. The address over there is 106 Pearl Drive in Lafayette, Georgia. 106 Pearl Drive. I'll give this to Carey, and she can post this on her site. Just that's for the people that really want to know, or that want to get tested there, and do it through the antibody. And that's really good news. That's coming through our the actual swab test that our health departments are stepping up here, and they're going to do that. They also are going to do it in other counties, Catoosa, there's dates for that, and the other counties throughout the state. So that's good news for everyone there. And from what I understand, Governor Kemp really is pushing that, as I'm sure all governors are throughout the country, the testing, because it's just we need to know. And plus, I mentioned this morning on Evan's show there, the more testing we do, of course, the numbers are going to change. They're probably going to go up, But it gives us peace of mind, to know what's going on. I do want to mention that actually, Carey just told me this just a second ago, that Governor Kemp, for those of you that might have watched this update, he has extended his emergency order till June the 12th, pertaining to people, the elderly people or people that are more vulnerable for this, to actually have this actually disease. I call it a disease, but for the people that might have lung problems or be more susceptible to catch this, the COVID. So, but now, from what I understand, Carey, that the shelter in place still ends tonight at midnight. Okay, it has nothing to do with shelter in place, because it will end. This is just extended to the people, the elderly people and people that's more vulnerable. And that just happened 30 minutes ago, I guess, whatever. We will be opening our building here, the government building, on the 4th, which is Monday, and we will ask people to, if they do enter, to try to wear a mask. If not, we'll get you one. We've got some that we will furnish, but most people have masks, and we just ask you if you come in. You don't have to now. We're going to leave our windows open outside, and that's a big thing. If you don't feel comfortable coming into this our environment in the building, you still can use these windows on both sides. Now, the elections will still have her window. She's not going to open that door up, because it's such a contained office. We can't very well do that and do social distancing. So that window right there, you'll be using it anyway. But so feel free to do that if you don't feel good coming in. Now, on our courts facility, we found out today the actual judicial, the governing people of the judicial circuits, they're not going to open those offices up until the 14th. We were going to do that Monday too and open the building, but there's no reason to open the building when there's nowhere. If you go in there, you're not going to be able to go anywhere to any of the offices anyway. You'll still need to, if you go to the court facility, you'll need to go through the same procedure. Call the number there, or go inside there. They've got a window there, a slot window in there, and we've got an officer there that can guide you through what you need to do if you need to see the Superior Court clerk or or any of the judges or the DA. So that will be the 14th and not the 4th on the courthouse alone. Calhoun County State Park, I'll touch on that real quick. Everything's going smooth out there. They're still limiting 150 cars, and then they'll shut it down this weekend. The weekends is when all that hits, and they've got plenty of, from what I understand, plenty of DNR help out there from the game and fish and all, and that's going pretty smooth. Let me see. Let me make sure covering this pretty quick. We will maintain our 3 o'clock days. Tomorrow we'll kind of slack off on the day-to-day, but we'll come back in here Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we're going to keep this going from now on. And possibly, if it changes anything, looks like we really need to come back, we'll go back to the day and day. It's not a problem for us. But right now, I think we can keep you updated here on kind of what's going on by doing that. And we'll be talking about a lot of other things too throughout the months to come, the weeks to come. We will have any kind of topics that's really happening here in the county, in the city, because Alex, of course, he's the mayor of the city of Trenton, so we can kind of do both of them at the same time. So if you can, stay tuned to us at 3 o'clock on these days, and we can keep you updated, and also we can get feedback from you. That's what's good. We can keep in touch with you and keep in touch with us on our questions and all. Let me go, let's see now. I've got all of that extended to June. Let me go on into our numbers. The Dade County, we did stay the same from yesterday at 14. Of course, you take the 11 antibody test people, we're still down to 3 minus the deceased person there, so that's really we're at 2. Walker County, they did go up to 61. Catoosa County, they actually went down 1. They went to 46. They were 47. But still, if you deduct that, those antibody, the people that actually had the antibody test, they're at 23. And Chattooga County, they stayed the same at 16. Whitfield County, they're at 96. They went from 76 to 96. Gordon County went from 86 to 92. Floyd County, they went from 138 to 139. Bartow County, 306 to 310, and there's still 464 in unknown counties. And for those of you that didn't watch in the last couple of days, what I'm talking about on these antibody tests, when I say that you can take 11 away from Dade, 11 of those people were not swabbed; they were the antibody. So that showed that they have had this months ago, possibly weeks to months ago, that they actually had it and didn't even know it. They thought they had the flu. And Walker County's got 44 of those cases that were counted on those. Now, officially, they've not been subtracted from the state website. I think that they'll have to do that later on. But right now, they said they don't really have the means or the funds really to do that statewide. But it is what it is. And so, but let's go on down to Tennessee. Hamilton County, they went from 149 to 152. They've had 88 recover. Marion County, they stayed the same at 28. Grundy County, they stayed the same at 28. They've both had 22 recoveries, which is great news. Sequatchie, they stayed the same at 5. They've had 3 recovered. Midge County, 6. They went from 6 to 8. They've got 3 recovered. Bradley County, they're at 48, and they were at 46 yesterday. They've had 37 recovered. They're still at 195 deaths. They went up from 188 to 195 as of yesterday. And we need to applaud the Tennessee counties, or the Tennessee state there, because they are giving us the recovered rates. Hopefully we'll have Georgia and Alabama, some of the other states that'll step up there and do that, because it really shows real numbers there of people that are over it, already had it, and out back in the public. Alabama moving to our local counties here, to our neighbors. Jackson County, they went from 46 to 47. DeKalb County, 76 to 77. And they also do not give us the recovery rates. I'll go ahead and I'll bring Alex up here. He's got a really good report here, and we'll move right along. Is the sheriff going to be here today, or have they called or anything? Okay. Okay. All right. Come on up, Alex.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Alex Case, Director of Dade County Emergency Services and the Mayor of the City of Trenton. I'm going to be twofold today, well, maybe threefold. I'm going to be helping the voter registrars today. So, first of all, that'd be my last thing. But as Ted mentioned, the Georgia Department of Public Health, District 11 Rome, has been testing in 3 counties now currently, and starting next Thursday, the 7th, and the following Thursday, May the 14th. They will be doing testing at the Dade County High School. We will be using this will be a drive-through type system. We will be using the parking lot, the students' parking lot, which is to the left as you come in on Wolverine Drive, and it's beside the softball and baseball fields, and we'll have a direction path for you to go to do this. Now you have to call this number, and we'll have this posted, 706-802-5329. Again, you will call this, and if you have these symptoms or been in contact with someone, this will be public health that you will be calling. You'll talk to someone about the symptoms you may be having or being in. They will issue some type of number that you will bring with you and tell you to be at that location. We'll have the address of the school. I can't think of it now, but it is Wolverine, Tradition Lane. I believe it's Tradition Lane, excuse me. It is Tradition Lane, Dade County High School. So we'll have that address for sure on that and this number. But also, even if you do show up and you ask these questions at the check-in site, they may continue on the line, or they can turn you around and send you back out. Again, this will be drive-through. If you do come, you need to take time to make sure you know you're going to be in your vehicle for a while. Depending on how big the line gets, they're limited a certain amount of time. We will have signage and arrows, and just be sure to take yourself, and everything will be done from inside your car. The nurses will have full PPE on, with face masks, gowns, gloves, goggles, and all. Again, this is something that we've been working on with public health for a while. As you know, we have stressed some of our frustrations with the numbers and things. It's something so large that it's taken its toll on the people. Again, it's been management of the folks and trying to get what it needs. And I've heard our concerns, and as Ted has mentioned, they have worked hard to get that testing here. I know they're going to be moving to Catoosa County as well on the 8th and the 15th. They will be announcing that soon with theirs, talking to my counterparts. Again, we have been making a lot of preparation. We met this morning on the safety of our employees here. The new standards we've been talking about for opening up Monday. You're going to see a lot of things different. We highly encourage you, if you do have to come in and speak, you're going to be limited to where you can go in the buildings here, to each one of the 4 offices, or the 3 offices: tax commissioner, the Dade County Commission office, and the tax assessor's office, and 911 if you need applications or address verifications or address applications. Please remember, if you have any of those symptoms, coughing, sneezing, wheezing, temperature, even common cold, please continue to call us or send us emails. If you do come in, if you have a mask, please wear your mask. We'll have a sanitation station in the beginning of the building. If you don't have a mask, we'll be handing them out limited at a time, or at a small amounts. We're trying to see what's best for that. And then when you do come in the areas, it's going to be different. We got most of the areas are blocked off, where you can only go to a certain amount of area where we use our social distancing. Again, we have these steps in place to ensure the safety of the employees, yourself, and all of us. I'm going to turn hat to the storms. We reported on the April 12th and 13th storms that went through our county, as we are continuing to pick up vegetation debris. Reported yesterday, some of the local news is reporting Tennessee was declared as well for certain counties in Hamilton and Bradley for the storms that hit on the same dates for the April the 12th and 13th. It also lists economic injuries only for Catoosa, Dade, Murray, Walker, and Whitfield. Now the deadline for this is between June the 23rd, and economic injury that the counties could apply for is January the 25th. And what is funny about this, we've seen it on the media before we even been contacted, and we yet just got contacted today. Now again, this is a declaration for Tennessee, and somehow SBA, this is for the Small Business Association, for certain businesses. Now, economic injury disaster loans is for businesses that with working capital loans to help small businesses, small agricultural cooperatives, small business engaged in agricultural or most private nonprofit organizations in all sizes that meets ordinary and necessary financial obligations that cannot be met as a direct result of the disaster. These loans are intended to assist through the disaster recovery period. And right now, through businesses and small agricultural, and the loans can be certain amounts depending on things, and there are different interest rates, and some of these loans can go for, I want to say 25 to 30 years. But we have taken this information, all of us in the Northwest Georgia EMA took this, the emails that the SBA sent us, and we forwarded it to GEMA. And GEMA has, as what we have been talking about, we're asking for the same thing for these same counties. That is in process that GEMA sent to the Governor Kemp. Governor Kemp signed this information to ask for SBA and IA, which we call individual assistance for uninsured or underinsured private individuals that can apply for either loans or monies that the federal government may have. The information we sent to our GEMA counterparts, our GEMA field coordinators, to the GEMA counterparts of IA and SBA, FEMA contacted them yesterday and told them that we are still in the process to see if we're approved or not. So we've seen this. We've talked about it, but we have forwarded to that because this is another state declaration that somehow is including Georgia, and GEMA didn't know about it. So again, it's just the way it's working. We're trying to get it figured out. So I think several news have mentioned this, but we're trying to find out ourselves. All right, I'm going to switch hats. Election time's coming up. They're out there. They have been for the last few days while we're in a different office. They've been validating the new election equipment, and they've been testing, and I think some folks from the state were here today, and a lot of folks. There was also a notice that went out. It's called Logic and Accuracy Testing Public Notice. Notice is hereby given that the logic and accuracy testing and preparation for voting equipment to be used for advanced voting and Election Day voting in June 9th, 2020 for the general primary election will begin at 9 a.m. on May 13th, and the makeup day will be May 20th. Testing will continue from day to day until complete. Members of the public are entitled to be present during testing. Said testing and preparation will be conducted at the Dade County Administration Building, room 259 at 71 Case Avenue, Trenton, Georgia. This is from Tammy Vaughn, Election Supervisor, Dade County. And if you need to give them a call and have any questions, it's 706-657-8170. We'll have that posted. As you remember, several weeks ago, we received the applications in our mail when the governor and the Secretary of State mentioned that they would be sending out absentee ballot information. And everybody that filled that out should have received this envelope. And this is your absentee voting ballot. Should have your name that you're registered to vote, your address, and it says official ballot, absentee ballot from the Georgia Secretary of State. LaWanna asked us to go over this because there's some of the instructions. When I got mine, I noticed I kept looking for another part of the instructions, and it wasn't in there. So when you pull the information out here, there's going to be several pieces of paper. You will have the instruction sheet here that tells you step by step to do. You will also have the actual absentee ballot. It's a long ballot information. It asks you to please tear off the top of this ballot, and it's got all the information and explains. It also goes all the way down through all of our forms of government, federal, state, and local, our Board of Education, and then it tells you to flip it over. You also have additional questions of our judges in the state and our SPLOST option right here. Once you get all this marked in, you use a blue or a black and you fill it in the circle completely. You fold it right back up just like it was when you remove the section that tells you red right here. The instructions ask you, following that, is you take your ballot and enclosed in a secure sealed ballot smaller than the 2 envelopes, is what the instructions say. But there's this solid piece of paper that is folded in half, and it says official absentee ballot. Ballot must be enclosed. You take the official ballot that you voted on, put it in a half a sheet of piece of paper, and put it in here like this. Then there's another envelope here that has the yellow side on it. On the back of that, it has your official name. You take this information after you filled it in and you put it inside the ballot, or the envelope, your ballot inside the official envelope. It tells you to stop. Have you signed the oath? Have you pledged your ballot have you placed your ballot in the white envelope and sealed it, which is the white piece of paper that's just folded in half? And have you fixed sufficient postage if you want to mail it? Once you do that, you seal it. And you, the voter, if you are doing this, you sign it right here at the top after you read the oath of elector. If you are assisting somebody with the oath that cannot sign, or you're helping them with it in an absentee, you have to sign the information on the left side. Again, you can place your stamp on the front with your return address, and we are working tirelessly to find a weatherproof outside depository that Secretary of State has allowed each office to try to find. We've been on the phone quite a bit this morning trying to find something, and it has to be labeled official absentee ballot drop-off box. We have to have it under camera supervision 24/7. During the time, it can be up to certain days, but you can start dropping these off. Now, you can drop these off right now at the elections office through the window, or you can mail it to them. So they're out. If you got one of those several months ago, or several weeks ago, to get your absentee ballot, it's in the mail. But again, early voting will start May 18th for 3 weeks, and then we'll have the general election, the primary election. The primary election will begin June the 9th. So if you get this and want to do that, please do so, or you can drop it off, or you can mail it based on the postage. And please follow the instructions. Remember, the white envelope that it says place your ballot into the white envelope is just the solid piece of paper that is folded in half, and it says that you place the absentee ballot in and fold it up. Again, if you have questions for them, 706-657-8170. We appreciate everyone still continuing to help us with all this, as we know that you've heard Executive Rumley and several of us say what the new norm is for us, and we're adjusting daily, and we're taking information from the employees to make sure they're safe. That's our most thing, is to make you, the employees, and all of us are safe. So continue working on social distancing. Thank you for all you do, and please call us with any information that you need.
Good afternoon, everybody. If you do have more elections questions, make sure to tune in next Tuesday for our Town Hall Tuesday. We will be talking about elections a little bit more, what you can expect. We will have Luana Vaughn from elections there. She will be answering questions. And if you have any questions, make sure to call them using the number that you can find in the link or on our website. We do have an elections page there as well. So today, we're going to, for your census moment, today's census moment is about emergency response. Detailed population information is critical for emergency response in the wake of disasters. First responders and disaster recovery personnel use census data to help identify where and how much help is needed. Similarly, demographic details from the census assist epidemiologists and public health personnel in everything from tracking disease outbreaks to combating the opioid epidemic to improving child health. So please fill out your census today. I did want to show you today how you can do that. This is just on my laptop, but you just go to 2020census.gov. This is what it looks like. And a lot of people are saying, well, where does it say fill out my census? So either of these green buttons that say respond, you just click those green buttons and it will allow you to go ahead and fill in your census information there. So if you haven't received it in the mail, if you haven't filled it out, just go to 2020census.gov and click the green Respond Now button. So I thought this was a pretty interesting census moment because it does talk about epidemiologists and public health personnel and how that ties into our census numbers. And we have received a question already today: why aren't the antibody tests being counted? And why are some of them still in there? As County Executive Rumley said earlier, we have 11 antibody tests that are still included in our test numbers, our confirmed test numbers. And one of the responses we received from the Department of Health is they just simply don't have the personnel based on those demographic numbers to go back and take those antibody tests out. So we are not medical professionals, but here's another answer about the antibody tests, why those numbers should or should not count. This did come from a family specialist in Chattanooga, a medical doctor, and it says there are only 4 FDA-approved antibody tests in the United States right now, and none in Chattanooga that we know of. And here was another interesting fact, and I want to tell you this without you freaking out and thinking there's another disease or something to worry about. But it says there are 7 viruses that will cause a COVID antibody test to show positive, and they call it actually a SARS-CoV antibody test to show positive. So there are 7 different viruses that will show those positive: SARS, MERS, COVID-19, and then 4 widely circulating coronaviruses that cause the common cold. So coronaviruses have been around for a long time. This is a new coronavirus, COVID-19, and as it says, 4 of those widely circulating coronaviruses just cause a cold. So they will show a positive. So that's why those antibody tests are not being counted in those confirmed cases, because they can be showing positive due to other viruses. So do keep that in mind. If you do have any questions, you can call the Public Health Department. You can also go on our website at dadecounty-ga.gov. We have links to the Department of Public Health there. We also have their telephone number, and we've also put those in the comments. So now I think we're ready to open it up for questions, at which we do have a few already. So if you have any other questions, make sure to send those in, and we'll start answering those now.
Thank you, Carey. Now, Alex, good report. What's some of the questions you've got?
Our first question is about kids and playgrounds. When can kids play on park equipment?
Well, as soon as we get the the governor's
Probably phase 3 is what
it'll be phase 3, and they're going. He's working. The governor's working right along with the presidential the phases that he's got. So,
that's what
well, that's what I've read. That's from reading it. That's what and that'll come across as it is a big deal, and but it'll be released when the phase 3 comes in. That's that document that's Carey's got a website to go to that I didn't bring with me today, but it's the phases for opening America, and it's something to read, and so you can get your answer there, as far as the time goes. Yeah.
The next question is, how much does the test cost for COVID-19?
The what now?
The test cost?
Well, the actual swab test, in Georgia, is free. It doesn't cost anything. Now the $40, that we were talking about, that's the antibody test. That does, and that's from a private clinic, as we were talking about. But the actual swab that Alex has been talking about, the test that will be given over in the parking lot there at the high school area, that test is free. But you've got to go through the process, as you said, and call the number and be registered, before you even drive up over there. That way you'll have your number, and as you get in line, you will present the number. They will actually swab you right there on site.
Is there a drop box for absentee ballots?
There will be. Yes, there will be. Yeah, we've got. That's what Alex just said today. We're working on it. It can't be just any kind of box. That's what we could have gotten one today if we just put a box out there. But it's got to be a a certified box, similar to what you have at a postal drop box. Yeah.
Okay, we have two more questions. One says, can you please repeat the date of the extension of the shelter in place for high-risk individuals?
Yes, that was, I'm going to look, make sure before I tell you here, June the 12th. June the 12th, and that would be, I'm sure, at midnight, June the 12th.
Okay, and the last one actually is about our roads. Burkhalter Gap Road. Do you have any idea if this road will be paved or when it will be repaved, I think is the question.
Yeah, Burkhalter, has been on the list for the last, at least twice with our LMIG money, and it all depends on the money we get to match with the state. Don't look for it to be paved, this summer. We'll maintain it, and actually keep it in good shape. But as far as a full paving from the bottom to the top, it'll probably be early summer of next summer. There is a possibility. I mean, if money goes good, we might possibly could pave, a big portion of it this summer. But right now, with what we've got on our list as far as priority roads, that right now probably won't happen this summer. We also got Hill's Gap over there, the road that goes up Sand Mountain. That's another well-traveled, heavily traveled road. It's a lot longer than Burkhalter Gap, but and it's got really a tremendous amount of traffic on it. And that's something that we're having to actually just maintain until we actually accumulate the money to do that, because that's a major project on that one. Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. All right. Appreciate everyone watching. We'll be back here tomorrow at 3 o'clock, and just hang in there and try to wear your mask and just obey by the rules as far as the 6 foot distancing and no more than 10 to a group. And we'll see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Thank you so much.